Warning, this content may be disturbing to some audiences. Subscribe. If you dare.
Fish breeder. All you do is breed certain species of fish to sell to shops, aquariums or fish keepers. Hey everybody, welcome to ANECDOSED. People ask Reddit. Serious Reddit, what are some unconventional career paths I don't know about?
Number 1.
I used to live in an area with a lot of surfers. Some of the regular surfers were emergency tradespeople, plumbers, electricians, etc., who would charge a huge amount of money to do emergency plumbing for big buildings. They'd do a few hours of work a day/night at $200/hour, then surf and chill the rest of the time. This was in Sydney, Australia.
Number 2.
Commenter. Location scouting. It pays well, and requires no degrees. When producers get a script, they bring you in to be a real-life treasure hunter and find what's described in the scenes. Every day is different and you get to explore the world. I started as a location PA on set and worked my way up. Build a portfolio/website, keep plugging your name with location managers in your city. One job turns into 50 with the right person. You have to be skilled at photography to be able to capture the producers, but also a people person that can make whoever you're taking pictures of feel like they can trust you. It totally depends on the project. Sometimes you have a super general idea of what they want, because they're not even sure yet, or on the other side of the spectrum, be given a super specific set of rules. I prefer the former. I have scouted everything from morgues to mansions, to farms to arenas. It keeps you on your toes. Usually you are married to a specific city and location managers use you when they come into town. You set your own rate/kit rental. They pay you for your car, usually $50 a day, and pay to rent your own equipment at a daily rate on top of your pay. Good scouts get paid around $400 to $600 a day. Their pain and labor comes in the stitching/editing and uploading. Person B. As with any film industry job, the way to get the job is be really good at it, and have people who hire for that position know about you. Neither of them are easy situations to get to, because often you need to do a job to get good at it and to meet the people who may want to hire you. You also need to live in an area where films are shot regularly and probably know the ins and outs of real estate to some degree as well if you want to be a location scout.
Number 3.
Commenter. Child life specialist. I don't know how off the beaten track it is, but it blew my mind when I found out there were people at the children's hospital whose whole job was to make life better for the kiddos. Anything from a basic blood draw to an MRI scan, surgery, just being sick and scared in the hospital. Child life to the rescue. That sounds so cool to me. Person B. A friend of mine does this at a children's hospital. He carries around toys, games, books, and art supplies and helps make the day less sucky for some really sick kids and their families. He used to be a unit secretary and just sort of stumbled into the job when an opening became available.
Number 4.
Commenter. Have a college degree and know what an IP address is. No criminal history? You could become a SOC/NOC/NSOC analyst making at least $45K/year, plus benefits. Work 4 days a week, 12-hour days, staring at a computer screen waiting for green lights to turn red and opening a trouble ticket when they do. When I was hired, I worked in the incident response group in NSOC. The monitor/analysts watched the log systems and told us when an alert popped up. IR only worked 9 to 5, so we got a lot of 2 a.m. calls from this group. We would investigate and then report back to the monitoring/analysts if we wanted to be notified about similar events in the future or to ignore them. I've seen people from monitoring stay in monitoring for 12 plus years. I've seen some of them move into system administrator, operations roles, a couple upgraded to the IR team, and a few jumped straight into the assessments team doing penetration tests and vulnerability scanning. Lots of opportunity for learning and growth, but you have to teach yourself or seek out other people with the knowledge. Also, on a side note, I said 45K, because I believe that is what monitoring got hired at. I was making twice that in IR. Person B. I do this as an intern for $12 an hour, a pretty easy job with flexible hours. The only requirement is you to be enrolled in higher education.
Number 5.
Commenter. Being an usher. You often get to see amazing theater for free, and just have to hand out programs. I had a friend who was an usher at a summer-long music festival, and he got paid and saw every musician he ushered for free with amazing seats. Person B. A lot of arts organizations rely on volunteers for their ushers. Even with no pay, it's not bad. You stand around and help people for about an hour, then enjoy the performance. Person C. Minor league baseball usher here, My pay would average at $340 per month, but you're getting paid to watch baseball. How bad could it be? Plus I work the party deck in right field, so I usually get some pretty good tips from drunk fans. Person D. I did this in a theater and it certainly beat the hell out of most other similarly paid jobs. One issue though is it's great seeing a play for the first time. The second and third even can be good too, as you notice details maybe you'd missed before, but by say the 10th or 20th viewing it can get a bit wearing.
Number 6.
Friend of mine recently started a job where he takes care of the practice models used to train EMT and nurses and such. He says the dummies are surprisingly intricate, so yeah, it's a full-time job to keep them running properly. He seems to be enjoying it. Partner has been fascinated by the idea of whale taxidermy ever since learning that is a viable career option for, like, 5 people at a time.
Number 7.
Commenter. Fish breeder. All you do is breed certain species of fish to sell to shops, aquariums or fish keepers. I make about $30 on some baby fish and $120 on others. I make an estimate of $500 a month. Note, this isn't my job, it is my hobby. To start you should learn how to set up a proper fish tank, heaters, filters, air pumps. And it all depends on how much you have to spend on your tank or tanks if you plan on making a breeding system. Also you might want to read a few breeding guides online too for certain fish that you like and want to breed. Person B. Once you can get the basics down and manage not to kill fish regularly, then you can start looking into breeding them. Here, your best bet would be to start with mollies or guppies. Also, get another tank with a big fish that likes to eat them, because there are so many mollies and guppies that some fish stores won't take them, and those that do generally only take them to become feeder fish. Mollies and guppies are livebearers, breed more than rabbits, and are an easy way to get started with breeding. From there, move on to something more difficult, like corydoras, or perhaps cichlids. These are egg-laying fish, and given a proper environment will also breed somewhat regularly. If you are successful with all of the above, which took me personally about 2 years of doing on my own, though I also had a background of helping my dad keep aquariums for over 10 years, you can start looking into breeding fish and shrimp to sell.
Number 8.
You have a degree? Any university degree is all you need to teach English in some countries. It's not bad and you get to see some of the world. I live in Korea now. If you're nervous about being unprepared, volunteer teaching while you're waiting to get a degree. I volunteered through an organization that helps Latinos. Taught a 21-year-old kid from El Salvador and learned a lot. It's something you should look at. If you want to teach public school, the requirements are a little different, still easy to obtain, just need a TEFL certification, than if you want to teach at a public school. Either way, the gig comes with a free apartment and 1 month's pay for every year you work. It can be really great, you just need to do your research and make sure if you go the private school route that you look into the school and make sure it's a decent place to work.
Number 9.
Commenter. You can get a job as a disaster insurance adjuster where you work 12 hours a day during disasters, make a shipping container full of money while only working while the disaster is in the assessment phase. Person B. They are called CAT, catastrophe adjusters. You need to be licensed/experienced in property claims. Best bet is with an independent adjusting firm, Crawford, Gallagher Bassett, etc. Plan to be on site in a disaster-ravaged area, tornado/hurricane/etc., for a few months at least. Agree with cardboard phones, it's physically and emotionally exhausting work, but if you are up for it you can make a lot of money in a short period of time. Friends worked Katrina losses in some Oklahoma/TX tornado areas and made close to $30,000 in 2 months.
Number 10.
I used to write papers for kids in college on an emergency-only basis. I wouldn't write anything that was due in more than 2 days to drive the price up. I went to a really good school next to a school for dumb, rich slackers, so I'd only write papers for them. The only time I ran into a problem was when a paper I wrote won a prize and the kid I wrote it for had to do a presentation on it. I charged $100/page.
Number 11.
Commenter. I'm a home instruction teacher, or homeschool teacher, whatever you want to call it. When kids are suspended or too sick to go to school, or even have anxiety about going to school, I go to their house and teach them. I work with elementary through high school children. It's great. I make my own hours, create my own lesson plans for the one kid I teach at a time, and I can wear what I want. Very rewarding, even when I have to chase down some of my suspended students when they try to not be at home when I get there. Person B. I did this too, although I was called a homebound instructor. I got into it because I was contracted as a long-term substitute teacher and one of my regular students was in an accident and needed in-home instruction. I enjoyed it and they offered me 3 additional students to work with, their regular teachers declined. The school paid $30/hour for my time, which included my planning work. It was a great way to earn a few $100s a week extra.
Number 12.
Commenter. Truck driver. The industry is always hiring, it's okay to have a less than stellar past, some companies will provide training, get to travel most of the lower 48, and be able to clear around $50K a year. Please realize though that it is a lifestyle change but one that really suits an introvert. Person B. I'm a different type of driver, running a dump truck for a road construction company. I work mid-April to mid-November and I'm probably on pace to gross $60K this year. Before I had kids I'd take the winters off and get shit done around the house. For the past 2 winters I've gone up into the Canadian North to drive on drilling rigs, which is insane money. This winter I'm sticking around home and doing some snow plowing.
Number 13.
Boat captain. After a professional career and divorce, my dad opted for happiness over the office and got his captain license. He now drives large boats for a living, taking prospective buyers on test drives, repossessing boats from owners who have defaulted on loans, and piloting water taxis and tour boats. It's really cool and, as an added bonus, he gets paid to move yachts to and from the Caribbean as seasons change.
Number 14.
I loved working the early morning shifts at a grocery store. I would come in at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., get some good exercise in with unloading pallets and stocking shelves, and our store would open around 8. It's always slower in the morning time and the morning shoppers are usually the experienced, knowledgeable shoppers that are ahead of the game and trying to get their shit done early. They were nice. It was pleasant. Then I would get to leave around noon or 1 p.m., and enjoy an extended afternoon/evening off free from traffic and full of relaxing time. I am now in the 9 to 5 circuit at a corporate office, and now I feel like I never have time to do anything that I used to have time for. I miss the off-peak hours. Make sure to share your personal story in the comments below and have the opportunity to be featured in a future video. Also, if you like these topics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to continue seeing more content like this every day. See you next time.